President Zelensky is returning to Ukraine tonight after an historic visit to the United States, his first international trip since Russia's invasion back in February. It's been 81 years since Sir Winston Churchill's speech to the US Congress changed the course of the Second World War. And Zelensky told lawmakers that Ukraine will never surrender. President Biden, to his credit, pledged to support him for as long as it takes to defeat Vladimir Putin.
He's going to fail. He's already failed because he now knows that there's no way he's ever going to occupy all of Ukraine. There's no way in which he's going to be accepted by the Ukrainian people. And so he's failed in the past, and it was very important for him and everyone else to see that President Zelensky and I are united, two countries together, to make sure he cannot succeed.
Well, joining me to discuss all this is Ukrainian MP Kira Rudik and Conservative commentator Ben Ferguson. Let me start with you, Ben Ferguson, because there are some Republicans, not all, but there are some, who think that America should not be getting involved in this war at all, not America's business, and Joe Biden should not be committing so much money when there are more pressing and urgent needs back home domestically. What's your view?
Look, I think there's certainly some truth to that. The reality is we have a wide open southern border right now. We have a humanitarian crisis on the border. You have freezing conditions now with this Arctic blast, and there's 10,000 people they're saying they're crossing on average per day right now. And Joe Biden's in Washington trying to protect Ukraine from an invasion. It's hard to look at those two issues and to separate them when it comes to the logic of the president. The second part is the money. Why is it that America is funding the majority of this bill and others around the world are not? Can we afford it with the debt that we have right now? The answer, I think, is no. And the other part is this. When you go all in the way that Joe Biden has done with this virtue signaling, what happens if Vladimir Putin does escalate things? Are you then going to take us into a World War III? And this is a country that I understand aid and support. I don't blame Zelensky for coming here and getting every dime he can. What worries me is the people in Washington seem to care more about virtue signaling and standing next to a guy in fake army fatigues than they actually do about the American people dealing with inflation and an open border. This is a massive problem for them, I think, moving forward.